Welcome to Prescott Today. I am Prescott Mayor Mengarelli, and we have two great guests on the show highlighting the partnership between the Prescott Chamber of Commerce and the City of Prescott. My first guest is Sherry Heine today. She's the President and CEO of the Prescott Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, Sherry.
Mayor, thank you, and welcome to our chamber.
Well, yeah, thanks for having me today.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about the chamber. Like, how long has the chamber been around?
Well, we have an interesting story. So in 1910 is actually when there was the first chamber. It was under a different name, but we incorporated as the Prescott Chamber in 1938.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So how many members do you have here at the chamber?
Yeah, we have over 850 members. We're one of the largest chambers in the area, and we had 192 new members last year.
Wow.
Yeah, very exciting.
Amazing.
And we have over 300 that have been here for 10 years,
Okay.
and almost 200 that have been here for 20 years.
Oh, that's great.
So we have a lot of businesses that are very committed with the chamber.
That's wonderful. So, Sherry, people may not know exactly what the chamber does. What are some of the services you guys provide for your members?
Yeah, well, so a Chamber of Commerce is a nonprofit organization, and we're here to serve the business community. So we offer networking opportunities, we market the area, and we're here to help the businesses grow.
Okay, wonderful. So there was a new initiative recently that you guys started that was called Shop Prescott. Or
Absolutely.
Did I mess that? What?
Nope, it's Shop Prescott, Start Here.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that was a partnership actually with the city manager and the tourism office, and we got together and talked about really wanting to keep the businesses, people shopping locally. You know, don't go online and shop, but shop with a brick and mortar building. And it's been going very great. We launched it in the fall just in time for the holiday shopping.
Good.
And it's a 24/7, all year long campaign for us.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So you guys do a lot of events. I think you sponsor a lot of events in town. Tell us about some of those events you guys sponsor.
Yeah, we have some of the signature events, some of the arts and crafts shows that have been around for a long time. We manage a few of those. Probably the one that's one of my favorite, and it's coming up in June, is the Bluegrass Festival. That's a free festival, and we just bring in a bunch of bands and have a great time and fill up the plaza and have great music for 2 days. We obviously are in charge of the courthouse lighting. We actually created that in 1954. And we have the Christmas parade and just a lot of great things as it relates to community events. And then with chamber events, we have the annual meeting, which you were our keynote speaker.
Yes.
Folks are still talking about that, Mayor. And we've added a few other signature events. We're going to have the Business to Farm, Farm to Table in September. And that's just fresh food, and that's kind of still part of that Shop Prescott piece of handling things here locally. And then we have the Grand Marshal Gala to honor our Grand Marshal.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
a lot
it is.
throughout the year. I know
It
my
is.
calendar filled up with all those events recently.
Yeah.
And a lot of offerings, Sherry, for visitors that come to town as well as those that are here in town. So it's kind of a nice mix of events. So
Absolutely.
Great job. It's a great way to get tourists here to town in many cases. Tell us about your focus on tourism and kind of your partnership with the city and kind of what you guys do to bring people to town.
Absolutely. Well, our partnership with the city, especially with the tourism office, is very important. Obviously, we're standing in a state designated visitor center, so this is where a visitor starts off. And so we're here working with the visitors, guiding them where to go, where to shop. When we're working with the tourism office, we're providing packages and marketing material that they provide for the people that are coming in for a conference or something like that. Yeah.
How many visitors do you see through here? I know I always see people
Oh
in and out
gosh,
of here all the time.
this is a very active and busy area. We have over 30,000 a year.
30,000 people through here annually.
Yes. Yep.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is,
Okay.
and they're from all over.
Well, that's wonderful. So tell me more just about the state designated visitor center. Do you get advertising statewide somehow, or how do people know, and what does that designation mean?
Well, the designation, it's a partnership with obviously the state of Arizona and their tourism office, and we are required and we're audited to market the whole region. There's 6 regions, and over on the wall over here, you can see where We are marketing all over, and they check in and make sure that we're doing that. We also market our membership as well. We tie that in.
Right.
But we do not get funding for it. It's just an honor to have that designation. But people know that this is where to go for information.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know there's some good signage around town. I know you have a real prominent place here across from the plaza, which is nice.
Yeah.
And I see the tour buses here
Oh,
frequently
yeah.
stopping
Absolutely. They park right on the side there, and they'll actually come in here first. This will be a first stop for them.
Well, with all the services you offer, the events you guys are putting on, 30,000 annual visitors here to the chamber. How do you get this done with staff and volunteers? Tell me kind of what kind of volunteers. You must have a lot of volunteers.
Yeah. So we have a staff of 8. We have 107 volunteers, 15 board members, 30 ambassadors, and 3 ghosts.
3 ghosts?
We have 3 ghosts. 3 ghosts in the building.
Okay.
They're big help.
Maybe after we shoot this, we'll talk more about the ghosts. But that's a lot of volunteers. I know there's a lot of great people that help get all this done. Well, just to kind of finish off, Sherry, tell us a little bit more about the partnership with the city and just how important that is and some of the ways we're partnering.
Well, I mean, working with the city is great. Obviously, both of our mission is the same. We want the best tools and the best opportunity for our business community. And so we're both striving for the same thing. We want to market this area. We want people to come here. We want our residents who live here to be proud of their community. So it's very important to us, and we really appreciate it. It's been ongoing for a long time.
Yeah, well, from the City Hall, I will tell you the same, that we really appreciate what the Chamber does, and it is a partnership, and there's so many ways we kind of overlap or partner that it's been, for me, in the first few months being in office, really a pleasure to work with you guys and to kind of see how you can help us and we're helping you. And so thank you for all you do for the city. And
appreciate it. Yeah, it's my pleasure, and we'll continue to build from there.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Sherry. This has been very informative. I really appreciate the time spent on this interview, and we look forward to talking to Margot Christensen next. She's the board chair for 2018 for the Prescott Chamber of Commerce. Welcome back to Prescott Today. My next guest is Margot Christensen. She's with Ponderosa Hotel Management. She's also the chair of the Prescott Chamber for 2018, and she's the chair of the Tourism Advisory Committee. So welcome, Margot.
Thank you.
It seems like you're wearing lots of hats, or should I say sitting in lots of chairs lately.
Both, and going to lots of meetings and a lot of events. I'm getting used to the pace.
Right, you were telling me just about all the different speaking engagements and on the radio, and now you get to be on TV. Yay. Isn't this exciting?
Oh yeah.
We'll talk more about tourism here in just a little bit, but tell me more about yourself, your business, kind of your role with the Chamber.
Well, I'm with Ponderosa Hotel Management Services. I'm Vice President of Marketing and Public Relations. And we have currently 5 hotels in our portfolio. 2 are in Flagstaff, a Comfort Inn and a Sleep Inn, and 3 are right here in Prescott, Quality Inn, Spring Hill Suites, and Residence Inn. And we just closed escrow on a 6th property in Sierra Vista. It's closed down right now, but we hope to redevelop and reopen it in the fall of this year sometime.
Wow,
And
so lots going
chair.
on in business.
Yeah, lots of business going on.
Yeah, and then board chair. So what do you anticipate in the next year with the Chamber as the board chair? What are you looking at for the next year?
Well, this past year was all about operations and implementing new ideas and new programs. And I think this year we want to have a little bit of fun. And I think one word to describe what Sherry and I talk about a lot is collaboration. Collaborating with our new partnership with the town of Baghdad, more collaboration and communication between our visitor center and the tourism office, and just really being a resource to the business community. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. It's
Yeah,
gonna be a
no,
good
that's
year.
good. I like that. I like to have fun. That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to do at City Hall. So, well, I know that tourism, as we know, is very important to our city. How long have you been with the Tourism Advisory Committee?
So I was a founding member 10 years ago, and other than a brief hiatus for about 2 years in the middle of that, I've been involved ever since, and I currently am board chair as of last fall.
Okay. So we shorten it to TAC, Tourism Advisory Committee. We call it TAC. So TAC was recently formalized as a committee of the City of Prescott,
Yes.
and you were named chair. Kind of tell us about that transition with that formalized committee.
So we were formalized last fall, and the main changes are that our meetings are open to the public. We have to post minutes on the city website of our meetings, and we now have term limits, staggered term limits for all of our board members. And I think the benefit to this also is that it gives us a little bit more credibility. We can be viewed as experts in the industry rather than just an ad hoc working group.
Yes.
So I think that's the big change.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So you guys did a strategic plan, a 5-year strategic plan recently. Tell us about the outcomes there, and I knew you guys were meeting, but I haven't heard any of the results yet.
Yep, that was a few weeks ago, and we had a 4-hour strategic planning session led by a professional facilitator. It was a great meeting. We had, in fact, I'll read you some of the outcomes. We created a vision and a mission statement, and I don't have it memorized yet, so I'm going to read
That's
it.
okay.
This is probably the first time you're seeing it. Our vision is for Prescott to be Arizona's premier destination for all seasons, welcoming visitors from around the world. So pretty straightforward, and we're focused on all seasons, not just the summertime. And then mission statement, our mission is to advise, inform, and collaborate with the Prescott Tourism Office, City Council, and community stakeholders to enhance the quality of life for our residents and experience of our visitors. So that word collaborate is in there again.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then we had some real key takeaways from our SWOT analysis that we did. Our strength, number one strength is our charm, friendly hometown feel, downtown plaza. So not too surprising.
Right.
However, our number one threat is losing our charm and hometown feel. So we have to be really careful in balancing that we don't become too overcrowded and lose that charm. So we're real cognizant of that. Our number one weakness is our limit in family activities and attractions. So now I think this becomes an economic development question.
Right.
What can we do together to bring in 1 or 2 attractions? We're not going to bring in a Disneyland, but something that fits our area that can be used not only for our local residents but visitors. And then our top opportunities are new events, expand midweek business, and expand our regional airport.
Yeah, you know, during my campaign, Margot, I talked a lot about smart growth, and I think that's a great point, that people love the historic nature and charm downtown, but we got to be really careful with smart growth, right? To not make sure we don't lose that charm. My 15-year-old always reminds me that there's not enough to do in town.
Yeah,
Dad.
my 15-year-old daughter does the same thing. They can't find anything for a group of kids to do, so we've got to do something about that.
So yeah, I'll make sure to tell her that that hit your SWOT analysis.
She can be on the focus group.
Okay, good. Yeah. I will refer her to that. So there's a lot of amazing events that the Chamber and other organizations do in town. How important are those events, do you feel, to our tourism?
Right, it's very important. Whether people are here for business or pleasure, they want something to do while they're in town. And so there's events like the Epic Whiskey Off-Road, the rodeo, courthouse lighting. Those bring thousands of people for the event. But then there's other events like the Corvette Car Show or the Summer Concert Series where people just stumble across them. And then they like it so much they want to come back again. So from a tourism perspective, we're an event-driven economy, an event-driven destination, just like we're a destination for outdoor recreation. So very important.
Yeah, I know when I travel, Margot, I always enjoy being at a new place and then running into an event.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of, like you say, by accident, like, oh wow, this is cool, and then our family usually jumps in. I think that happens here.
And they can plan for it next time if they want to come back.
That's right. And there are so many events. We always talk about Whiskey Off-Road, the lighting, Christmas lighting, as well as the rodeo and those kinds of things. And many times you don't realize how many of these other events are happening throughout the year. So really good for tourism. You mentioned trails or open space, I think there, and we recently acquired 160 acres, the city did, with open space money in the Dells. How important is open space, trails, and those kinds of activities for tourism?
Well, very important. I understand we get about 800,000 visitors and local residents walking on our trails annually each year. And according to a visitor study that we did in 2014 and 15 in conjunction with Northern Arizona University, walking and hiking on the trails came in as the #3 activity that visitors like to do.
Okay.
#1 is going downtown, #2 is dining, and #3 is hiking or walking on the trails. So it's a very important attraction.
Yeah, we have some great trails in town. I'm a mountain biker, so that's usually how I experience the trails. But our family, many times on a weekend, we were recently on the Constellation Trail, and just a great activity to get the kids out. And of course, this winter's been really mild weather.
Perfect weather, yeah.
So, no, I'm not surprised that people like to get out on the trails, and I know those trails are just continuing to expand. So
they do a great job.
Yeah, they're so well marked, easy to follow, well groomed. So our city, Chris Hosking and the guys at Parks and Rec do a great job.
I joined the Over the Hill gang.
Really?
One day a few years ago. I lasted one day and I was sore for a week, so they work very hard.
It's a lot of work. I see those guys out every once in a while and they do a lot of work on our trails. So in regard to the partnership with the city and the chamber, how important is that relationship or partnership?
Very important. That spirit of collaboration that we have right now is going very well. You know, the visitor center is run by the chamber, but we still have to have communication with the tourism office. And then even though the the city is in charge of economic development, the chamber has vast resources and expertise in business retention and business relocation. So they can help each other with all of these projects that we have.
Well, I really enjoyed in my short time as the mayor here, getting with you and Sherry and meeting monthly and kind of hearing what's going on at the chamber and figuring out how we can help support you guys, and you've supported us in some things, and so I'm really grateful.
We have to work together.
No, it's going to be a great partnership. I look forward to 2018. Well, thank you, Margot, so much for being with us today. I wish you continued success in all your hats or chairs or all the things you're involved in the city. Thank you so much for your service.
And thank you too for your service.
Well,
you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you, Margaret. I appreciate that. Well, that's all the time we have today. Be sure to tune in next time on Channel 64 or view Prescott Today on demand by going to PrescottMediaCenter.org. I'm Mayor Greg Mengarelli, and I'll see you next time on Prescott Today.